Yeah, 100 plows are on the road here in the Denver metro area, and about 30 are out in the mountain corridor on I-70 from Golden to out to the mountains. Now, I want to be clear that this snow is pretty slushy, and on top of that, it really didn't give CDOT an opportunity to pre-treat the roads. So keep that in mind when you get behind your wheel if you're going to work this morning, that there's nothing on the roads, and it's really just you and your ability to drive and the quality of your tires. So make sure that you take good care and caution. And yeah, the snow is not necessarily sticking to the roads, but it is wet. So don't let the roads fool you. Be cautious. CDOT just wants to put that reminder out there. Darius?
Angeline, thank you so much. It definitely looks like it's starting to pick up behind you. Go get warm. We're also going to check in on flights this morning for you. Right now, FlightAware reports that there are 68 cancellations and 25 delays at Denver International Airport. Make sure you check on your flight status before you get ready to head out of the door. We're going to go ahead and head over to Ed Green right now. He has a look at your forecast. Ed, we are not in the clear, and it actually looks like it's coming down even harder.
So I don't get a one and only introduction?
The one, the only, Ed Green, who needs to be pinched. No Green.
Thank you, Darius. I appreciate that. Hey, as far as the weather goes, you're right. It is picking up, and that's what it's going to do off and on today. It'll be very heavy, then it'll be light, then it'll be heavy again. But the temperatures will stay mild, so it'll pretty much melt as it hits the ground. We've got snow out there right now. That's that haziness that you see, and 31 degrees. It's going to hang around for most of the day, but by 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, it finally begins to leave. Tomorrow morning's rush hour is in sunshine. Few clouds drift across the state on Friday, and then Saturday, clear skies, and that sets the stage for a pretty nice start to the weekend. And I'll show you what I mean by start. 39 degrees today for your St. Patrick's Day, maybe another 1 to 3 inches of snow, but again, it's going to melt as it hits the ground. 51 tomorrow, more in the way of sunshine. Good start to the weekend, 57 degrees with sunny to partly sunny skies. And yes, Sunday, 64 degrees. Spring comes in at 9:33 in the morning, but we see increasing clouds, and the increasing clouds are just ahead of the next mild system, but rain and snow that heads our way Monday and Tuesday.
All right, Ed, thank you. Heading now to the foothills with meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen live in Morrison. It's just these bands of snow that keep coming in.
Yeah, they keep on coming, and we got ourselves a decent little snow squall going on right now here in the Morrison area. You can see the wind just blowing it sideways. That's become a major factor as far as visibility goes out here. You can see the visibility is reduced because of the way the snow is blowing. And these snow crystals, they're not the soft, fluffy snowflakes. These are actually kind of really small ice particles, and I can feel them kind of pelting my face right now. So it's becoming very uncomfortable to be outside, even though the air temperature is only 31 degrees, which is the coldest it's been all morning here in the Morrison area. And we can actually see that having a little bit of an impact on the roadways out here. A little bit more snow and ice slush starting to show on the roads, and maybe even C470 up there moving just a little bit slower. Now, as you go from here about 6,000 feet up into the foothills, there is a more significant impact to the roadways. 285 going up to Conifer, and of course we've been talking about I-70 closed westbound, and I just actually got a call from Jefferson County Schools informing me that Jefferson County Mountain Schools are closed for today because of these bad road conditions. Not down here, Jeffco, just the Mountain Jeffco schools are going to be closed today. Now let's head up to the mountains to get a report up there. Now, Matt, it's wet, slushy snow down here. You got any of that powdery stuff up there?
Little more powdery up here, Corey. Those ice particles that are pelting your face have let up a little bit here in Silverthorne. We had some heavier snow, but it's getting a little bit lighter. Some significant snow has been coming down. Look at those piles, though. So nice to see at this time of the winter, those piles starting to build up like that. And that's because right now in this area, we're actually above average for snowpack. Much of the state now slightly above average for snowpack. That's good news. I'll tell you this, the roads and the highways and the interstate are all pretty snow-packed, pretty icy. It's going to be slick going here in the mountains if you're coming up to enjoy some of that snow that's been coming down. And it's been some pretty good snow here in Silverthorne, where we're at about 5 inches of snow. Ski areas all in this area, Breckenridge, Copper, Loveland, reporting all about the same thing. But Darius, look at this stuff right here. Just all this great snow building up. Look at those chairs. Perfect time to sit down and just take a break.
Oh, of course, Matt. Thank you so much. We'll check in with you in a couple of minutes. You all, we have team coverage continuing all morning long to keep you safe, whether you live in the mountains or right here in the metro area. To track updates as you head out the door, be sure to download our free 9 News app.
All right, it's 6:39 right now, and we're turning to our breaking news, a house fire in Lakewood.
Yes, 9 News reporter John Glasgow just arrived to the scene in the last 15 minutes on South Cole Court. John, what are you seeing right now?
Well, have a look here behind me. This is the house that went up in flames here this morning. It's a brick house, so the fire was contained to the home, but you can see that it's gutted. Fire crews, they're still here. The fire is out at this point, but they're looking for a cause at this time, and we have heard from fire investigators on scene here that there were no reports of any injuries or fatalities. They're still going through and getting a better idea of what they're dealing with here, but you can see that they battled not only the fire but also the conditions out here. It's snowy, it's wet, so it wasn't an ideal fire to have to fight here this morning, but you can tell that they are still looking through the scene here to see what sort of cause might have lit up this home here this morning. Now, the other thing is where this is located is in a cul-de-sac. It's a court here. This is off Cole Court is where it is. At this point here, we don't want to have a whole lot of new information for you. We're going to try and get an update here from the fire investigators. But the good news is the fire is out and there are no reports of any injuries or fatalities. I'll have another update. We also have some viewer video of that fire. We'll get to that in the next 15-20 minutes, guys.
All right, John, thank you so much. I think that's the best thing to hear is that there are no injuries in all of this and that fire is now out. Switching gears to Ukraine right now. After a passionate plea from Ukraine's president, the Biden administration is pledging more assistance to help Ukraine fight off Russia's brutal assault.
The war is now in its 4th week, and the UN estimates nearly 700 civilians have been killed. The actual number is likely much higher. NBC's Bree Jackson reports from Washington, where the world heard an emotional virtual speech from Ukraine's president.
Good morning, Corey. During his virtual speech, President Zelensky urged the U.S. to send more weapons to Ukraine and enforce tougher sanctions against Russia.
I see no sense in life if it cannot stop the death.
In a passionate speech, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky appealed to America's heartstrings, comparing the crisis in his country to Pearl Harbor and 9/11.
Russian troops have already fired nearly 1,000 missiles at Ukraine, countless bombs. They use drones to kill us with precision.
Urging Congress and specifically President Biden to do more.
Being the leader of the world means to be the leader of peace.
The president later issuing his sharpest condemnation of Russian President Vladimir Putin yet.
I think he is a war criminal.
The White House unveiling $800 million in new military aid for Ukraine, including 100 armed drones, potential game-changing technology called switchblades.
This could be a long and difficult battle.
The president has yet to sign off on Zelensky's request for fighter jets, despite growing pressure.
It's costing lives in Ukraine.
The administration has also ruled out a no-fly zone, insisting it could escalate the war. Ukraine's president telling NBC News, "We may already be in a third world war."
I believe that Russians have already crossed all the red lines when they started shelling civilians.
As Russian forces rain fire on Ukrainian cities, Putin is delivering a message of his own, accusing the West of trying to cancel Russia and showing no signs of ending the violence. Peace talks between Russia and Ukraine continue. Both sides have signaled reasons for optimism, but key differences remain. In Washington, I'm Bree Jackson. Back to the 9 News studio in Denver.